Sorry. Um, yeah, so I wanted to kind of bring a couple of things to your attention. Number one is we're still getting some stuff done to the lab, like as far as safety, equipment, and all that stuff is concerned. So, what I want to bring your attention to is that I know we talked when we first talked about when we first talked about the lab and how it was going to be structured. I mentioned that there was going to be a Labster component to the lab. So we finally finalized that contract with Labster. And so if you go back to Blackboard and you look at this content area that says the Labster simulation, you click it, you're going to see all the Labster um, simulations that you're going to be responsible for the semester, right? And you have to finish all of them with 100% completion. And at the end of each one of them, you're going to get a certificate that you'll upload to Blackboard, right? So once you finish it, it'll give you a certificate of completion. You screenshot it and you just upload it here into the assignment link that goes along with it.
Our songs concert. That's tonight. He looks okay to me.
Sorry. All right.
So are you going to assign when we do these simulations?
So yeah, so the first one you're going to do today, the chemistry safety one, you'll do that today. And then the other ones I will assign because it's going to be, all of them are going to be required, but some of them are going to be on weeks where we don't actually meet, and then others will be on your own time. So either way, you're going to have to finish them all. But the chem safety one, you have to do today. And it was before when we were using Labster, you would have to log in to Labster and get an account set up. But the fact that they have set it up with the university, all you have to do is click this link, and it's embedded in Blackboard. And so the chem safety module is going to load up. Hold on 1 second. No, you just have to turn it in before next week, before next Tuesday. So you got until next Tuesday to finish
it. So currently the only thing to do it right now would be just the chemistry safety simulation?
Yeah. For this yes. It's it takes a while to load, but it'll load. And but the point is you don't have to go to Labster, like to the website and log in and create an account or anything like that. When you log in, when you click the link, it's going to take you to it. And then when you get ready to start the simulation, it'll ask you for your information, your name, your email address. And what that'll do is in Labster, it'll build like a grade book for me. So I'll be able to log in and then go and look at that grade book and see who completed it. Now, it's also going to ask you some questions after the simulation. Do the questions. If you get 100, if you get a 50, I'm not going to penalize you for that, but you do need to complete each simulation. So you need to finish every one of them all the way to 100% completion, because it not only tracks your progress, but it also grades like you after the end of the simulation. It'll give you a little quiz or whatever. So, and make sure you use your Tuskegee email address too, because I don't think it asks for your name, but if you use your Tuskegee email address, I can find out who you are. And so yeah, you'll just click start.
Hi there. Welcome to the chemistry
and boom,
simulation.
It'll
Here
take you through this simulation.
Safely work with dangerous chemicals. Are you ready to learn these skills to save a life?
And that's it, right? So again, all of these are going to be due. Some of them.
This simulation uses voiceovers. If you don't have audio, click the speaker symbol in the top right corner of your lap.
Yeah, so some of them I'm going to send out and say, hey, do this. We won't meet today. But if we have a lab where we meet, and then there's still going to be a simulation due for that week as well. And speaking of that, when we do meet, I need y'all to send me your group names because I know we talked before about setting up groups so I can find out who's in what group and also who's on campus. So right at this point, I need you guys to go ahead and form those groups. And I need you to designate one person from each group to send me the list of each group. And I also, well, it was something else I needed to mention about that. Hold up. Let me see these questions in here. Yeah, I could do that. So once I make, once I get the listing of the groups, then I'll be able to, I'll make a big list with group 1, group 2, group 3 songs. Cause I think it's like 45 or 46 people. So my suggestion is to work in groups of 6 so that if we're on ground, there's no more than 10 people in the lab. Is that Brianna? What are you asking about being due? The groups or the assignment? The LabStar assignment?
The assignment, was it due at 11:59 or 5?
No, it's due. You just need to complete it before next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Is that for always? Like,
No, if there's a specific due date, then I'll tell you in an announcement. Otherwise, anything that I say, hey, you need to do this today, you need to have it completed before the next lab period. All right. So yeah, I need the groups so I can figure out who's going to represent each group. Because remember, when we talked about this before, each group is going to have one person come in person when we work on the ground. All right. So I need the list of each group with all the group members, and I'm going to cut it off at 6 people because after that it gets unproductive. And I need y'all to finish this survey for me that I sent out during the beginning, like the first week of class. Let me see if I can go find it. And I'll put the link in the chat so y'all can go ahead and handle that. I sent a survey out asking who was hired, who was on ground, and who was virtual. So let me find that. Yeah, right here, 02. Shucks. Let me get the link real quick. And I'm gonna post this link in the chat. So that way you'll have it. And I need you to do this. Now this I need you to do today. So I can go ahead and figure out who's gonna be like the representative from each group. All right. There was one other thing. Okay, so those of you who are virtual, when we do go live or stream or whatever, you're gonna have to be logged in like to Zoom or whatever platform I use. I might use YouTube because I can go live from YouTube from my phone or from my device. So you'll have to log in and stream in real time. That way you can take notes, you can fill out your lab notebook, so on and so forth. And I'm probably also going to mix up the in-person people, like the people who are on the ground. If you got a group with more than one person on the ground, if we come in for one lab, then it might be one person, and then the next time we come, we may do a different person from the same group. So just be aware of that.
Question.
Go ahead.
I joined a little late because I had another class, but what assignment is due next week?
The first LabStar simulation. That's right here, the chemistry safety simulation. And then you need to take the certificate of completion that you get at the end and upload it to this assignment link right here.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
To clarify, you said that us virtual students, we have to
we will have to tune in when you
Yeah.
have your in-person labs?
Yes, you got to be you got to be streaming in real time while we're doing the lab. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard
Mhm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Russell, I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
I have a physics lab at 2. So am I still allowed to like be in like a group if I have a, because I didn't want to drop this class and it was.
Yeah, I thought we fixed that. Well,
I couldn't switch to your other lab time because that was conflicting too.
oh, that sucks. All right, we'll talk offline about it.
Okay.
Hey,
but
I
for-
also need to talk offline with you about that. I have a conflicting class at 2:00. I didn't know you offered another lab. This was the only lab that I saw.
yeah, and it didn't help that somebody effed the time up. Excuse my French, but they
Keep it real.
no, they changed it to TBA when it should have been 1 to 5, and that's a lot of that has happened. But I ain't gonna harp on that. I ain't gonna beat a dead horse because it's already dead. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll get something worked out for those of you who have conflicts, because I'm sure there's more than just y'all two.
Dr. Russell,
Yes.
I see on your screen it says organic chemistry, but I was signed up for the general chemistry lab. So is that a different time from this one?
Yes.
What time?
Did you log in early? You know we're supposed to meet at 2:30.
Yeah, I think I did.
Again, you didn't jump the gun twice.
All right. Thank you.
Shame on you. I'll see you at 2:30.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So are we all clear on the Labster stuff? Again, whether I send it out in an announcement or not, all of these need to be completed by the end of the semester. And some of them I will send out an announcement, say, hey, this is what we're doing today, blah, blah, blah. But if I don't send it, it's still due. All right, you know where to find them, right here in this link that says Labster Simulations. All right. Any questions about anything? I didn't intend for us to have a long meeting. I just wanted to make sure that I got that new information to you. Hopefully you have all completed the safety exam, and hopefully you've already completed that quiz that I sent out last week to go along with that video on recrystallization. And if you haven't, you got time, but you need to do it. So I just said that it doesn't matter whether I send the announcement out about Labster or not, that every one of these simulations is going to be due by the end of the semester. So you can kind of work through them if you choose. Some of them I will send out, and if you've already completed it, then you won't have to worry about it. All right. Any questions about anything? Anybody not clear on how we kind of rolling right now?
I'm clear, but I just have a question about the attendance. Do you want us to type our names in the chat, or we don't need to?
That's a good question. For as far as right now, this meeting right here, I'm not worried about that. When we have in subsequent meetings, that is how I will take attendance, is with you putting your name in the chat. Yeah, thank you.
I have a question.
Good question. Go ahead.
My question is for the groups. Once everybody is established in their group and you write out, you will have a set schedule for when our groups need to meet in person?
Yeah, so let me clarify that, because the groups are going to be, there's only going to be one person from each group that comes to an in-person lab. Are you following what I'm saying? So even though you might be a part of a group of 6, so that we can maintain distancing, we'll have one person from your group. If you're on ground, that person may be you. We'll have one person from your group come to actually perform the lab, and while we're streaming it out.
Okay.
But the rest of your group, if they're not there, they need to be logged in, because they're still part of the class. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Anybody else have a question about anything?
Do we have to, is it okay if we have less than 6 people, or you want?
Yes. Yeah, that's fine. If it's less, that's fine too. 6 is the maximum. Because I think we got 48 people. So if we had 6 in each group, that'd be a total of 8 groups. I'm trying to get it so that if we have one person from each group, inside the lab, there'll still only be 8 to 9 people total. It won't be any more than that.
And where will the in-person labs be held?
In Armstrong, 313.
Okay.
And anytime, when we get to that point, I definitely will send out like an announcement with who's coming, what time to be there, what room, all that stuff. But as of now, we can't. I'm not going in there until they do. They said they were going to do. They were supposed to put up like some type of partition in the lab and all this other stuff, and they haven't done that. So I'm not going in there. But we're gonna make it work. Are we good so far? Any other questions?
Yeah, we're good. I have a question. So, did you want us to send those names in via email or
just email it to me.
discussion board post?
Yeah, just email it to me. Each person, whoever's gonna be responsible for compiling the group names, that person should just email that list to me. Because if you put it in the chat, once I stop the meeting, the chat is gonna disappear, and I won't be able to get back to it. But I also put in that chat room a link to a survey, so I need y'all to do that today. I'm gonna paste it in here again, because that'll help me when I'm determining who's coming, who's gonna be the group rep, and then how I can alternate that so that it's not the same person every time. All right. Any questions? Anything else?
Where's the survey again?
I just put a link. It's a Google form. I
see it.
My bad. Hold up. I sent it to Brianna by accident. I meant to send it to everybody. There we go. So you can just click it and open it and knock it out. It's only a few questions. And then that way, it'll help me when I'm structuring everything for our on-ground stuff. Because low key, that's going to take a lot of planning. All right. Any questions about anything?
No.
All right. So, but this is good timing. I knew I only needed about 30, 35 minutes to speak. And then I'm going to send you an announcement with a recap from the meeting too. So don't sweat that. And I recorded it. So I'm going to post that to YouTube as soon as we get off. So if there are no other questions, I'm going to end the meeting, and then I'll send an announcement with a recap, and I'll also post this link to, or post a video to YouTube. You should have gotten a link last week from a playlist, for a YouTube playlist. You should have gotten that already. So that every time we meet, anytime we stream, anytime we do anything virtually, it's going to be posted to that playlist. All right. If there are no other questions, I'll see you guys next week. And if you have questions in between, you can just email me.
All right, thank you. Have a great one.
Bet.
All right.
Take it easy now.
All right, Raw, don't take no wooden nickels now.
About to say the same thing, man. They don't spend too well.
I beat you to it. All right, y'all take care.
Have a good one.
All right.